Hi, good morning, guys. We are just here on a collaborative Zoom, Mr. Ski and I, to talk about our next book that we're going to study, A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. And it's an interdisciplinary case study between English and social studies. And so we'll tell you a little bit more about how this is going to work.
So hi guys, this is a really cool book that we've read as a whole school before, and um, this is nice because we have a chance to really kind of develop a more background on it, and that really helps, I think, in this book. And so this will be our first week, and we'll just post one set of lessons for social studies and language arts. And some of the lessons will have more of a social studies lean, and some will be more language arts. And so Miss Benton and I will be co-teaching and sharing the Google Classroom as well. And so at this point, you won't need to go to social studies for assignments. And as far as the grades go, for every assignment that says Infinite Campus on it, that will be entered into both social studies and language arts. And then we'll have one collaborative Zoom meeting for this case study on Thursdays at 1. And so my Friday one won't take place anymore.
All right. And then, as you know, we're in this expedition of altruism. And so social studies is joining us in this expedition with this case study. And I was just going to point out that we are still taking a look at identifying altruism in texts and applying that concept to your everyday experience. And we're still taking a look at using evidence from the text to support the analysis of what the text says, using both inferences and gaining an explicit understanding. So we're still working on that same standard in terms of mastery in this altruism expedition.
So again, it's called the case study is Long Walk to Water, and social studies learning target will be I can examine ways citizens may effectively voice opinions, monitor government, and bring about change locally, nationally, and internationally. And so at first glance, this novel will seem like it's an awful long ways away, but by the end of the novel, you'll see that it kind of comes around and becomes a little bit more local. And a lot of it's about water issues. And so we'll kind of look at that. We definitely have water issues here in the Southwest that maybe aren't as drastic as they are in the novel, but are very real as well. And so we know we appreciate water here, and that will be part of our final project.
So I just wanted to do a little introduction to the book. We have an online copy for you to read, like a photocopied scanned PDF. And then we also have audio for you to listen to, just like with Seed Folks. And that's all on one document, so you'll have access to the entire book right away, even though we'll be assigning certain chapters for each week. And I'll just read you the back of the book because you don't have that on your PDF, and I'll just give you a little idea about what it's about. Naya goes to the pond to fetch water for her family. She walks 8 hours every day. Salva walks away from his war-torn village. He is a lost boy, refugee, destined to cover Africa on foot, searching for his family and safety. 2 young people, 2 stories. 1 country, Sudan. This mesmerizing dual narrative follows 2 threads, one unfolding in 2008 and one in 1985, with one hopeful message that even in a troubled country, determined survivors may find the future they are hoping for. And so it's a fictional story, but it is based on true events. So you've seen this before in terms of this thinking assessment ladder. And like I had mentioned, we're still working on mastery in terms of using textual evidence to support our claims. And I just wanted to remind you that what we're really looking for is for you to be mindful of these learning targets and do some self-coaching. So take a look at the target, use the rubrics, and really self-coach yourself into taking that next step independently. Now, even though that's the goal, it's okay. We all need coaching sometimes. We all need support sometimes. And it's okay if you're totally lost and you just need to reach out and get help from one of us, um, and get some support that way. That is 100% fine. So this is your invitation to reach out to us when you need help, and an invitation to use those rubrics and use those learning targets to really support your own learning in this case study. And this is the social studies target here. Did you want to cover that, Mr. Ski?
Sure. And same, you know, I mean, it's the learning target that I read before. Um, how we voice opinions, and to make change. And in some cases, it may just be gratitude for um, some of the things we have here around water. And, you know, as we've gone through this period of COVID learning at home, you know, I've been impressed with a lot of you have worked your way through things on your own a lot, you know, and I do get questions and it's fine, but a lot of you guys are really working your way up that ladder and working independently and figuring things out. And, you know, I'll make a mistake and a lot of you guys will figure out how to kind of fix that on your own. Um, and so that's been really great. So,
Nice. So as we are starting with the first chapters, 1 through 7, I just want you to be mindful of that idea of altruism or selfless giving, and just think about the teacher and the old woman that you're going to meet, 2 characters in these first 7 chapters, and just think about how their actions align to altruism. So that's something to just think about as we move forward. The final thing I just wanted to show you, or we wanted to show you, is the Google Classroom, how it looks. So you can see that we're in classwork right here, and that it is working the same way, where under classwork, you'll have the date of the week and a long walk to water. So this week will be the 6th of May, a long walk to water, and then all of your assignments will be posted in here for both social studies and English, and there'll be a grade for both. So our extension is this awesome recycled art piece, with inspiration of African recycled art. We are going to learn a lot about some African geography and learn about the connections from the geography in Sudan to the book. And then we will be just taking a look at an article giving us a little bit more background knowledge. And then, of course, we have our checklist. So the checklist looks exactly the same as it did before, only now the checklist is for both social studies and English. So we start off with our quote at the top. If he were older and stronger, would he have given water to those men? Or would he, like most of the group, have kept his water for himself? And that'll be our quote, just that thought of giving and survival and that connection to water. We have our learning targets for the week and the question for the week, in both subject areas. And then your assignments for each day are aligned in the checklist. And our focus this week for the extension is to be creative. Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Ski, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
no, looking forward to reading this with you guys and talk to you soon.
Yeah, it'll be fun.